part of Arrow Video's continuing program of releasing classics or genre classics from Japanese cinema is their release of Warning from Space from 1956. This is a film that I think might have been the first color Japanese sci-fi genre film, I think. This is a movie that I came to know the way you did, which would have been on local, well, if you're my age maybe, and kind of watched the kind of TV that I did. I first saw this as a Saturday afternoon matinee. This was like a creature double feature sort of movie. This was, you know, the way we all saw this, I think until now, was 4:3 pan and scan of a very widescreen image, pretty bad color, pretty murky contrast. And then the Arrow Video release comes out and you're like, wow, I've apparently never seen this movie before. The version that I saw most recently was the old Alpha Video DVD. You can toss those. Unless you're nostalgic for how it looked when it aired on TV when you were a kid, you don't want to look at it that way anymore. There's no reason to look at it like that. This movie looks phenomenal. That's what Arrow is known for. That's one of the reasons I love Arrow so much, is no matter how high or low caliber or brow the film is that they're going to release, they make it look phenomenal. So the colors look great. What is it about? You know, you want to probably watch a movie more than for the reason that the color looks good. So basically, aliens from another planet come down. These aliens are basically they're shaped like a star. They look like somebody in a giant star costume with a huge eye in the middle. They come down in human form. They send a woman who looks like a normal Japanese woman to basically warn the world that the Earth is about to collide with another planet, and this race of star creatures, not to be confused with Invasion of the Star Creatures, though they're willing to help us out if we listen to them. So it's a bit of intrigue, and it's sort of a race against time to help save the Earth with the help of these more than one eventually star creatures, and not have us explode into little tiny bits. The film is relatively brief in running time for a Japanese movie. I think it's about 86 minutes or so, something like that. And it's fun. It's not, you know, it's a lot of dialogue. It's not a lot of, you know, crazy special effects and things like that. And the effects are pretty humble for what they are. You're talking about 1956. And I only noticed really one, if you want to get into video watchdog territory, there's a little section of the film that's kind of blemished, and it looks like that was something in the original camera negative. You see it almost looks like the dye had faded or something. There was like some splotchiness, but other than that, the film looks razor sharp. And it's fun. It's fun to see. It's fun to see looking as good as it does, and very much like their Gamera set, which was phenomenal. Arrow gives you two versions of the film on this Blu-ray. You can see the original widescreen Japanese version as it aired in theaters, and you can also see the recut, dubbed US version that was prepared for TV, and that's 4:3, and that has the original title that you saw on TV in the US titles. And it's interesting to see it that way. I mean, you can watch it that way for nostalgia. I think I would prefer to watch it in widescreen because it was shot that way, and you're losing like half the image if you watch it 4:3. But it is cool to have it on there. You might want to hold on to the old Arrow Video DVD if you really like how bad it looked on TV as a kid, and that's the way you want to see it. But otherwise, like every Arrow release, it supersedes any release that came out before it. It renders them obsolete. It also is loaded with. It's got a select scene commentary, which basically the first 65 minutes of the film has a commentary by a Japanese film expert. It's got some, you know, behind the scenes things, not behind the scenes so much as retrospectives about some of the people involved in the making of the film, a very extensive stills gallery. If you've seen the Gamera sets, this is really sort of patterned after that in terms of how they lay out the extras. It is voluminous and wonderful, and really a nice addition for fans of Japanese sci-fi. So Warning from Space, out now on Blu-ray from Arrow Video.